The Nebraska Cornhuskers are entering a very pivotal off-season. They're entering year 4 under Matt Rule, fresh off a 7-6 disappointing record from the previous season, where 3 of their last 4 losses were blowout losses, whereas they combined 77 total points in their losses against Penn State and Iowa. Nebraska is entering an important offseason, not just for the program, but also for Matt Rule himself. He's got to find a way to win some good games this year for Nebraska. And, I mean, with how bad last year was, fans were hoping that we'd get wins against Iowa, Minnesota, maybe even a pair of ranked wins against USC and Michigan at home. Well, we all saw how that went, and none of those things even happened. So, today's video is going to consist of me evaluating Nebraska's roster. And I'm going to be talking about, potential starters, and also, I think, impact players for Nebraska and for these specific players in their respective positions. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, starting off is the quarterback position. You got Anthony Colandrea. He's going to be the number 1 quarterback. That goes without saying, because here's the facts. You don't pay $1.2 million to get a guy from the portal to just have him sit on the bench, okay? Colandrea, he's a good player. I do believe he is going to be a great player. But the thing about him is, while he was great at UNLV, we have to rewind the clock. He was not good at Virginia. He had multiple turnovers. I mean, I saw a tweet the other day about a comparison between his turnover frequency and Jeff Sims, and unfortunately, Colandrea's turnover frequency was not different enough from Jeff Sims to make me feel comfortable about Anthony Colandrea. Because if he can find a way to take care of the ball and not put it on the ground, I would feel a lot better about him. But as it is, there's still that potential, kind of like that X factor on how he plays. He's a mobile quarterback, and that's great, but we'll see what happens. I think he's going to be our biggest X factor and impact player for this quarterback room. I mean, and then also, TJ Lateef is good as a, I think he's good as as for a young quarterback, and I think he's talented, and he showed flashes last year, but he's still young and inexperienced. Colandrea easily has the most experience. I mean, he spent 2 years at Virginia, a year at UNLV, and now he's back to Power 4 play, and arguably he's in the hardest conference that there is in the Power 4 level. So, then we get to the running back room. So, you got 6 of them. I think the major X factors and impact players from this running back room is number 1, Jamal Rule, the recruit from North Carolina. Then you also got Isaiah Mosey, then Mekhi Nelson, and then I think Quentin Ives after that. Man, don't sleep on Connor Booth or Isaac Dickey. I think those guys are also talented. They just need to be developed. I mean, EJ Barthel, say what you want to say about him, but I mean, you can't deny what he did with Emmett Johnson. I mean, Emmett Johnson was great. He's the leading rusher in the Big Ten. So Isaiah Mosey, I mean, he was switched to play at running back from wide receiver only a few weeks before the Cincinnati game. So I think with a full offseason under his belt, I think he actually could be pretty darn solid. Jamal Rule, the previously mentioned, he's a stud. Okay, he's gonna be great. He lacks experience, obviously collegiate experience, but I do believe he is gonna be a great player for the Huskers. He might be the next Emmett Johnson for all we know. Mekhi Nelson, I mean, he's shown flashes too. I mean, he's not bad. Once again, all these guys, they just need experience. Then Quentin Ives, I think he was injured part of last year. And he also was a little bit slow. When we saw him play against Houston Christian and Akron, he wasn't really spectacular. I think he for sure is a little bit slow, a little bit heavy. But if they can get him lighter and if he can work on his game, I will be happy. But for now, I think my prediction, I think Isaiah Mosey is going to be the running back 1. But it might be Jamal Rule. I would be happy either way. I think the very solid running back room, just young. But I think we'll see what happens there. So definitely look forward to this running back room. I wish Emmett had not declared, but only for our sake, not his sake. I can see why he declared. So, but oh well. Kudos to him for being a sweat at the running back position. So then wide receivers, and after the O line is the most players we have in this position. So major impact players: Corey Barney, Zion Hunter, and don't forget Quasi Gilmer. He's going to be a wide receiver X where Dan Key was. He is going to, I mean, those three guys right there are very good. But don't forget the other guys like Quinn Clark, Janiron Bonner. I mean, he had a pretty short season last year. He's a good player. I mean, he was good. And then, I mean, Quinn Clark, Keelan Smith, Cortez Mills, those guys have all showed flashes. I think those guys aren't bad at all. I think they actually could be pretty darn good. I mean, and then also, like, there's these younger guys here, like Jeremiah Jones, Jackson Carpenter. Like, these are all guys that I think can be developed. And, like, they're young guys, but I'm sure they can get some good snaps. I mean, Quinn Clark is a freshman and got some good snaps. Cortez Mills did. Like, we will see what happens there. But I do believe that this wide receivers room is going to be a position of elite strength for Nebraska. I believe it will be. I think we got a good wide receivers coach. And I do believe strongly that it will be a good position for Nebraska. Then we have to go to the tight end. And this is a tight end room. Like, I wish that Marcus Satterfield was not a tight end coach. I don't think he should be coaching any position at Nebraska whatsoever, except maybe like graduate assistant. But Luke Lindenmeyer is good. Okay, I guess you can't deny that. He has made Luke Lindenmeyer to be a pretty solid tight end. Definitely made some pretty good catches. But after Luke Lindenmeyer, I mean, if Luke Lindenmeyer, he's your tight end number one, I mean, who else afterwards? I mean, we don't have Nate Borkercher anymore because he left us for A&M, and then obviously Harbaugh graduated. And what, Carter Nelson? Carter Nelson's not really proven himself to be a good tight end, but we'll see what happens there. But for now, I think Luke Lindenmeyer is obviously your starter, but after that, we will see. I mean, I just don't know. I'm just looking at this. It's kind of a big drop off. I mean, like, you got Lindenmeyer here. I think the next closest tight end, whoever that might be, is about like right here. You can see that. That's just kind of the facts there. Then you go to the offensive line. So, okay. Elijah Pritchett, Justin Evans. You return two good players from that offensive line. But then you got Tree Bobbele. Then you got Paul Mubenga. Then you got Brendan Black. I mean, you got 5 good offensive linemen right there. I mean, those are your 5 starters easily. Jeep Wade is a good offensive lines coach. Way, way better than Donovan Raiola. And I think we're going to see that transition on the field. Like, we're going to see it very clearly. I think it's going to be a night and day difference. I mean, and then, like, don't forget, like, I think these other guys, like Gunnar Gatula, Tyler Knock, like, I think these are all guys, like Sam Sledge, they could all be developed to make this offensive line a deep, just position for Nebraska. Maybe this will be an elite position for Nebraska. If it is, that'll be great. I hope it is. We shall see what happens. I hope it is. And I look forward to watching our offensive line play in this upcoming football season. So then we go to the defensive side now. And I think, like, defensive tackles, okay, this was a position where Nebraska lacked strongly last year. Like, I was watching some clips, like, and I'm probably going to do a video for this sometime. Like, I was watching, like, the clips between when we played Iowa 2 years ago, so back in Iowa City, 2024, when we still had Ty Robinson and Ashon Maker. We were dominant. We only needed to put, like, 4 guys up front. We would push that offensive line all over. Last year, you put, like, 5 guys on there. They just couldn't push by the offensive line. It was frustrating to see again and again and again. But we'll see what happens. I am hoping that Coy Brown and Roy Manning can develop our offensive line or defensive line. I mean, also don't forget we only had 22 sacks last year. That's terrible. However, so for our starters on defensive tackle, I think Owen Stoudemire will be one of them. I think he will be a massive contributor. Why did I say that like that? Sorry, contributor for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But I think Riley Van Poppel and Gabe Moore are two other guys. And don't sleep on Su'a-Lefautu, but I think probably Van Poppel. If they're doing a 4-2-5 scheme, we know that it's probably going to be Van Poppel and Stoudemire. And I think Riley Van Poppel, if they can get him up, okay, so he's 295 now. He's 6'5", 295. If they could get him up to 310, 315, if they could get him even up above 310, I mean, that's only 15 pounds of muscle. He could get that. Because, like, between your sophomore and junior year, that's when you make the biggest jump. If Nebraska, or I should specifically say, if Van Poppel and Gabe Moore and Su'a-Lefautu could make a big jump for Nebraska, I would be so happy. I would be, like, it would make me extremely happy to see a good defensive line, or at least not like it doesn't need to be great, but a good defensive line, like that's not average, like maybe above average, but good enough they don't just get blasted by the run game. I would be happy. I'd be like, okay, we know what Nebraska can do. Like, we can stop the run. Because if you can't stop the run of the Big Ten, you're not going to be a good football team. That is just a fact. Excuse me. If you cannot stop the run, you're not going to be able to stop anyone. We saw that against Minnesota, against Iowa, against Penn State. A Penn State team that barely beat Rutgers, who finished 5-7. Iowa, who barely beat a Michigan State team. I mean, like, it really puts yourself at a disadvantage, and I'm sure we'll see this. And that's why he brought in Owen Stoudemire, Jasir Whittington, and then obviously Anthony Jones. And I think that Jasir Whittington's another guy that can be talented, but I think our defensive line can't be worse than last year. I think it will take a step or two forward, and I think your junior year tends to be where they make the biggest jump as defensive lineman. I mean, don't forget, Ty Robinson used to be bad, but now he's he finished pretty darn good, and so did Nash Maker. Anyway, so let's move on to the edge position. So I think it's going to be Anthony Jones and Williams Nwaneri, your two starters. Like, easily enough said. Don't sleep on Willis McGahee or Cade Petschok. Those are good players. And I think I think Roy Manning and I think Coy Brown on the defensive tackle side, I think those are good coaches. And I think, like, Anthony Jones is going to be good for us. I think controversial, be that as it may, I still think that he could be a major impact for Nebraska. And Williams Nwaneri, he's a very talented young man. I'm high on Williams Nwaneri. I think he's going to be a breakout player this year for sure. I mean, look at James Williams. Like, remember him? Like, he wasn't that great his freshman year, but his sophomore year, he took the jump and he became pretty darn good. And then Willis McGahee is solid too. And then Cam Lenhart, like, okay, I wish Cam Lenhart was good because he's like a faithful guy. He's been with Nebraska his entire career, but like he doesn't, like, he just doesn't do much. Like, I think his best season statistically was his freshman year. I think at an edge position, that's where they put him at. He's a little short for that, and he's too light to be a defensive tackle. But if they could develop him at the edge position, I think that will really help him out, and hopefully he could excel there. But I definitely think he's not going to start over Anthony Jones, for sure. Then we get to the linebackers. So, remember, it's a 4-2-5, so they're doing 2 tackles and then 2 ends, then they do 2 linebackers. First name to mention on this list before you start, Owen Chambliss. Amazing player. I mean, when he entered the transfer portal to follow Rob Orch, which I'm very glad he did, there are schools like Texas wanting him, Oklahoma, Alabama, all those big names that wanted him. But no, he wisely, and good for Nebraska, followed his defensive coordinator. And we also got Dwayne McDougall, who we'll get to in a second. Owen Chambliss is a good player. He is very good for UNLV, and I think he can. And he has 2 years of eligibility. Hopefully he stays both of those years, unless he declares, but I don't think he will. Well, I guess I can't say that because he might be really good. But Owen Chambliss is a great player next to Dexter Foster, or after him Dexter Foster, and then Vincent Shavers is good too. I mean, you got a solid linebacker core, at least in those 3 at your starters. Or honestly, after that, kind of drops off. And Dawson Merritt, he if he's shown flashes, and if Addison Williams, or not Addison Williams, if Rob DeBoer can do his job and develop these guys, which I think he can, I believe you could actually have a solid linebacker core. And don't forget, like, Will Hawthorne, like, he's a solid guy too. Like, he came to Nebraska to be developed, and that was really nice of him to come to Nebraska. So we will see what happens with the linebacker core. But it definitely is younger because we lost Deshaun Singleton. You know, we lost. I mean, like Javin Wright. Like, we lost Sierra Wright. We lost Malcolm Hartsock. We lost a lot of those, like, these linebacker, cornerback, safeties that were pretty experienced for Nebraska. And I hope that these guys can be developed and can be impact players, because your front seven, like, if that's an experienced defense, you're going to be a very good defense, like, objectively. Like, go back to the 2023 defense, easily the best defense under Matt Rule. I mean, we had Ty Robinson, Nash Hutmaker, Jamari Butler. I mean, you also had, like, Luke Raymer, Nick Henrich. You had John Bullock, Isaac Gifford. That was a pretty darn good position. Deshaun Singleton, like, don't forget, that was a pretty deep defensive linebacker and line position. So, then the cornerbacks. You start with, I mean, you're doing a 4-2-5, so cornerbacks and safeties. It's going to be like a mix between these two positions. Andrew Marshall, big name, for sure. Donovan Jones, also good. I think after that, and then Victor Evans III, the transfer brought in, I think he could be pretty good, but we'll see what happens. Again, this is where Addison Williams is coaching, and if he can get these secondary, or these cornerbacks and safeties, this secondary, if he can get them up to snuff, which I think he will, he's a good coach. If Nebraska could keep him long term, that'd be amazing. I think that he could actually be. I think that not just he as in Victor Evans III, all these other players on this cornerbacks list, I think that they could be pretty solid, for sure. I think that they could be a solid cornerbacks room with secondary. Then, trying to speed things up here, some safeties. I mean, Jameer Khan, he showed flashes for sure. Dwayne McDougall was the other transfer we got from San Diego State. He was pretty good for them. Well, he was good for UNLV, or for San Diego State. And I think he's going to be a big impact player. Jason Shiggs, he's also good. Rex Guthrie, also another good safety. After that, I mean, it's pretty young. You don't have any redshirt freshmen, or no, you don't have any red shirts, excuse me. You just have redshirt freshmen, sophomore, and then sophomores, juniors, or redshirt freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Jameer Khan, I mean, they moved him to safeties. He actually did good in the spring ball, like I said earlier, a second ago, and so I think he should be pretty darn good, hopefully, for Nebraska come fall ball. And this is Addison Williams' strength, or area of expertise. Let's see what we can do. Then last special teams, I mean, you got Brett Maher at this job. I mean, he was our kicking and punting coach, and I mean, they actually were the best they were for a while with him as our coach in that area. I mean, don't forget, he was coached by Mike Eckler, and he was a good punter and kicker, so he knows what to do to be good. So I think he will pass that on to these kickers like Kyle Kinnan and John Hole. And then I think, yeah, Archie Wilson, I mean, should be good for us. And then Jack Will's a long snapper. This should be good special teams again, like I'm hoping. So, that is it, guys, for today. So, just kind of to wrap things up, just kind of sum it up, and I will make a video for this, like what I think like are some reasonable expectations for Nebraska. This roster, I think, is the most complete that Nebraska has had under Matt Rule. I think our defense might be lacking, but I think if you can develop that defense, which I think it will be, I particularly mean our defensive line. But like we do have a lot of young guys in that linebacker and secondary cornerbacks and safeties. Keep an eye on that, and that is a pretty questionable area. Not like super questionable, but I mean it is young. We do have, like, I think our starters, or some of our starters, like particularly our linebackers, are more experienced. But after that, there is a drop off. But hopefully they can be developed. And then, I mean, obviously running backs are young, but quarterback, wide receivers, offensive line, that should be great. I think special teams should be good. Linebackers should be good. I think this is a pretty complete roster. If they can just be developed and be improved, then I think Nebraska could have a good season. But that is a topic for another day. So, that is it for me today, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, go Big Red, and goodbye.